Hello my fellow freedom builders and welcome back to the channel. Now I do apologize for the lack of videos lately, but I have had a bit of a computer problem and I have been working on setting my options experiment up. You know, the setup where I'm gonna put $40,000 into a real account to show you how I trade options on a month-to-month basis. That setup is about ready, so I hope that at least at the end of this week we have the money depositor and everything up and going, and we should be ready next week to start trading some options, so I can show you how I do that. The video of today is a little video where I show you how the performance has been in two portfolios, and I'm going to show you the stocks that are in the stock portfolio right now on Etoro. Now the reason I use Etoro for this video is that many people on the internet, on YouTube, that show their portfolios, they can doctor the numbers also in all sorts of ways. So Etoro, you cannot really manipulate the data. It's not always that I get the exact same numbers in percentages as they do, but it is close. So it is hard to manipulate, or impossible to manipulate, I guess. So first of all, as you know, if you have followed my videos, I started out on the 1st of April with this completely algorithmic rule-based strategy that we also going to use in our upcoming fund. And yeah, as you can see, we had a break-even April here, then we had a decent May and June, and then we've had a couple of very good months here, August, July, with almost 5% each month. And yeah, we just started September, ran a week or so. We had Labor Day yesterday, so we didn't get any data there. But that is in 1.21% for September by now. So it seems like it's going to be a very good quarter for us, depending, of course, what happens for the next 3 weeks here. But it looks good, and I would say quarters like this, when we look back, we have many years of stats, both in test and live trading. And quarters like this, where we get up around the 10 to 15% in a quarter, they are not they're not that rare actually. But often we see a quarter after that where it is a bit lower, not necessarily in the negative, but maybe in the 3 to 4 to 5% range. But let's see how it turns out in the third quarter this year. Now, before I show you the stocks that I actually have in this portfolio that have made it perform so well, I'll just show you that my good buddy and partner in the Invest Like a Guru setup, he has started to trade our ETF strategy. Some of you are receiving our newsletter each and every month where you can follow the ETFs that our model says is a buy and which are a sell. And some of you have asked if we could please start to trade that ETF strategy in the Etoro as well. So Liam, my good friend at Invest Like a Guru, he has started doing that, and he started that by the 1st of August. So in August he made around 1.5%, meaning that all the performance before that is from another stock strategy. It is only from the 1st of August there is this very conservative ETF strategy. Now, some of you, if you are following our newsletter, you might have been able to see on the stats that it says that August gave us a 2.1% in performance. And it is not that there's anything wrong with the stats, actually. It's just that the prices gapped when we had to roll over from July holdings to August. So our July holdings were actually better than the stats indicated it should be, and the August stats were a bit worse. So 1.5% for August is actually not bad, but the real number is basically 2.1%. But that is a bit of a technicality. All right, so by now it is up 0.4% here in September, and remember this strategy has a historic performance in the 17-18% range with some very low drawdowns, so this fits the stats very well. All right, when we go back to my model here and we're looking at the stocks in here, you can of course see that one of the big winners is Moderna. We also have Nucor and Equifax that are giving some good wins here, but definitely Moderna. And that is very symptomatic for our model here. That is that we usually have one or two stocks that really carries the big load of the performance. 77% is actually not even the highest. We have had quarters where the top couple of stocks were up maybe 100 or 120%. So that is possible. And then we have some winners down here. And right now we have Biogen and IBM. That is, they are in a small loss, but they can of course easily regain that here in September with a bit of luck. Let's have a quick look at the stocks that are actually in the portfolio right now. And I'm just using my template that I normally use when I use this form of analysis, also in my Danish subscription service. And as you can see, Moderna here, all of these stocks were bought at the 1st of July. So you can see that is a normal picture with trend following here. Normally people are saying, yeah, well, it also already went up. Let's say Moderna, you could have a look at that. And just from back here to the 1st of July, when it's at somewhere here, you could say, yeah, I'm not buying Moderna. It already went up 300% or something like that. But that way of thinking is not the right when we are looking at the trend following, because what we are doing in trend following is basically that we are buying stocks that are already, you could say, expensive, but have already gone up in price, in the hope that they will keep going up like a freight train that just keeps rolling on. And what you can see here is that Moderna was actually way higher at some point, then it went down. And the good thing with a completely rule-based strategy is that we don't have to think too much. So when it went down here, of course, it would be annoying if it just went straight down, but that is how it is. Nobody knows where it will go, and the people that are trying to predict and say we know where the stock will be in a month, they are often lying or delusional or something. So I don't know if this one will continue up, if it'll start to dip down or whatever, but right now it has given us some great performance. Then there's Nucor here, also bought on the 1st of July, had a bit of a drop in the beginning, but then went pretty much straight up and is now in a retracement. Nobody knows it'll keep going up, but it's not something that concerns me right now. This is something that maybe in a normal technical analysis would be considered the beginning of a bull flag, and if it breaks up here, it will be some very good buy signal. But we are only holding it for 3 weeks more, and then let's see, maybe some of them will get in again. Then we have Equifax here, EFX, also here. It looks almost as good as Moderna, but of course the percentages is not quite as good. It can just look very crazy depending on how the graph is constructed. So Equifax, Adobe, also pretty much a straight line. And again, a good example of if you had bought this or if you had resisted buying this because you would say, no, it already went up 26% in 3 weeks, then you would have missed the rest of the up tick here in price. Then we have Nvidia, a bit more jumpy road we have been on here. Started out with quite a big loss, went up, loss again, and right now it is shooting straight up. Let's hope it keeps going. Now Docusign here is an interesting thing. It has been a very jumpy ride, but what we can see here is actually what I normally would consider in the model I use in my Danish subscription service. It would be a very nice buy signal. It is in the green zone here on the weekly chart. Then it is a bit choppy here, but then it shoots up from the 20 SMA with some extremely good volume. Of course, because of the earnings here that were better than expected, as this indicates. But especially if we could break this line, I would normally in my technical analysis say this was a go. Then we have Microsoft, pretty much just as straight as a ruler here, going straight up following the 20 SMA. We have Home Depot. It has been very choppy, and Home Depot was a big winner in the COVID crisis. And that was because all of a sudden people were forced to stay home. They didn't spend money on vacations and so on. And they were just going shop amok on the Home Depot. It has been a bit more sideways lately. But again, we bought it here in the beginning of July. And it is at a slight win where we stand right now. Then there's the target. That is, of course, one of the annoying instances here. I would say it's still in a very good uptrend here. But the thing is that we were up something like 10% here, and now we are basically at break even, maybe at a small gain. But that's how it goes when you're rotating stocks every 3 months, as we are. Then there are the two losers. We have Biogen here, which is choppy with a slight loss here, 4-5%. And we have the IBM, which, as you can see, were also bought because it was a great trending stock. But here's a good example that nobody knows where stocks will go from here. Just because it has been going up doesn't mean it necessarily has to continue. And here we saw some more sideways movement. Right now we are down around 5%, but that's how it goes. So that is the two portfolios. I just wanted to give you the monthly update to show you that this is not just something I am claiming that this is a good and solid strategy. It is actually producing some great profits, and there are many people copying us. I'll leave a link to it below here if you want to see how you're copying us. But otherwise, if you are already on Etoro, you can just search for Market Time at DK if you want to follow me. Or we have Liam here sitting in UK, and you find him under Invest Like a Guru. All right, that's all for now. I hope you have had some couple of nice months here, but take care of yourself and your money out there. And I'll get back to you shortly and look forward to the option videos that are coming soon. Many of you have asked to them, and now they are finally here. Sorry for the delay. Talk to you again shortly. Bye for now.